Hey, what's going on? It is Terrafirma Tuesday. Let's see, we've got Cody and Olive here in the chat. We are starting earlier today because I do have to pick my wife up from the airport this evening. She's on a work trip, so I had to kind of adjust my schedule a little bit to make sure that I was available to go pick her up. But that's okay. We're just going to get started a little bit earlier today and get right into the adventure. That's right, Olive. The adventure does begin. Let me get a little situated. I'm going to try and get music to work. I realized after the fact that I didn't get music working in last week's stream, but I think I figured out what was wrong in having the audio go to the wrong location. So we're going to try and do better here. Hopefully that works right there. It is not too loud. All with the hearts. Yes, we are here on Terrafirma Tuesday, and I kind of have an idea of what I want to do tonight. I will run it by the chat, obviously, but what we recently had today was the Steelyard Commons building, and today's episode was released, and in it we have been making a bunch of creosote oil, and so I wanted to look into actually making steam powered equipment that we can then use to kind of automate a bunch of our working here on the server, so we're not just having to hand grind and hand hammer all of our materials. We're going to try and get a little bit more automated today. So that is the tentative plan. We'll see how that goes and then kind of go from there. Yes, we have some windmills up above. I got one more windmill I need to make, and the only reason I haven't made it is because I'm going to have the other windmill coming down to power a deployer to keep this just automatically deployed, just to make life a little bit smoother. I've also added a clutch to a system here for making alloys, so that should make that a little bit smoother as well. Of course, it's raining. Let's see. The first thing we're going to need to do is make some fluid pipes. That I do know, and I cannot type to save my life today. And I think it's just making a bunch of bronze plates. So I think the first thing we need to do, can I actually make a rolling machine yet? Is this, can I? Already just shifting topic here. Do I have what it takes to make a rolling mill? No, because I can't make the deployers yet. I don't think. Use steam hammers instead of macerators for ore processing. The hammers are much faster than the macerators. That's useful information right there. We're gonna be making a bunch of equipment today. Zeta 1 forever. That's right, Olive. Zeta 1 will be a thing here. Yeah. Oh. We're not here yet. That's a feel bad. Okay. That's fine. Fluid pipes. I wanted the bronze fluid pipes. I just make a bunch of bronze plates. We're going to get started by just making a bunch of bronze plates. I think I can use, I would certainly think that I could use the black bronze for what we need to do here. So let's hope that that is the case. I actually want the charcoal so it doesn't burn quite as hot. How many in-game years has it been? It is currently 1007. So time has been flying by on the server. I figured you could use the black bronze because it is a bronze. Let's see, it is currently early summer. I did a harvest before coming live tonight, and if we go down in the cellar, you can see we have a bunch of carrots, beets, soybeans, some squash, a bunch of grains, and I cooked up some bread to make sandwiches. So I have been working on trying to keep our food supply so that hopefully we don't need to worry about food while we're on live or making videos. I was trying to make life easier for everyone so they didn't have to spend an entire video just making food again. I want people to be able to do more than just make food all day. That's the idea, at least. So we're gonna go right into the screen here and get these cooking up. Food for days, yes. Can you? That would be news to me. Let's see, we can make curdled milk. I don't know anything about soybeans for milk. We can make soybean oil. But I think that's something slightly different. That'd be really cool if we could make milk out of those. Let's get these guys in. Weld. Hammer into plates. Right, there's 2 more plates there. And so I don't overheat too bad, we'll try and keep stuff cooling while we're here so we don't just have things hot the whole time. You used to be able to in a previous version of TFC. Dehydrated soybeans. I don't see anything. What is soy mixture used to make food? You can make tofu. So I guess that's something. I think it's because we have the Firma food. It changes some of the food things from old Terrafirmagreg, and so there's probably some overlaps and some things that aren't overlapping, if that makes sense. This doesn't get too hot to weld. Perfect. That's that. Right. There's a couple plates to get started. A few more. Yeah, you know, sometimes there's overlaps of the mods, and so they had to remove one to make a different one. So it goes. So this is what, a wrench and a hammer. Got my wrench. Got my hammer. I'm probably gonna need 1, 2. I'm probably gonna need this whole. I think I want to have a stack of the fluid pipes. Of stack obviously being 16 in this mod pack. I think that's a good place to get started here of what I actually want to get done. That'll give me the opportunity to kind of move things around. Finished a piping project today, no leaks whatsoever. That's awesome. Also worked on the breadboard circuits. I haven't used a breadboard circuit since college. Oh, it's been a while. That's gonna date me a little bit. I'm gonna feel old. But that's okay. Weld. Plates. In typical fashion, I'll start welding and look away from the chat for a second because I'll start focusing. Yeah, we don't have a Maya or Hypno as of yet, mostly because I didn't tell them I was starting earlier today. So that's a bad job out of me of not warning them in advance, but they may join halfway through the stream. We'll see if they have availability or not. Raining cats and dogs here, IRL. been a few years since I've seen all-day thunderstorms. I'll tell you what, where I live in Ohio, and we have actually been under drought conditions where we haven't had rain for almost a month and a half, honestly. And then yesterday was the first rain we've had in a month and a half. So it was really nice to finally get some rain around us, because it has been like, our grass is dead, just completely dead. Feels real bad. Hey Ice, welcome to the stream. But we don't want you to see what we're saying. Are you talking bad about me again, Ice? It's cool, I get it. I'm just trying to, you know, do the whole streamer thing. Used to do the breadboard in tech school, was learning factory electrical engineering, but couldn't pass trigonometry. Used to live in Columbus. Our cities suck. Not wrong. I like Ohio, but I know it's not necessarily everybody's cup of tea. Traditionally, I like to say that we get all 4 seasons. Unlike some places where you only get winter or you only get summer, unfortunately, we'll get all 4 seasons in the same like week. So that's always a fun experience. But I actually grew up near Lake Erie, where we would get the lake effect snow. So where I grew up, we would measure snow in feet, not inches. So that was always kind of interesting how much snow we would get. Ice using all those membership perks with all those emotes. I still need to look into getting a bearded emote made. I was gonna talk to an artist friend of mine to see if they would do a commission to make one up for me for a sticker. So that may be in the near future. Ice says, I like Ohio, but not all the cities. I like Ohio for the seasons, protection from natural disasters, and decent scenery. We do have those. It is a beautiful state, as long as you're not just spending the whole time in an inner city area. Our cities are not the best. I will not argue about that. Like, I concede that to be fact. But getting into the foothills of the Appalachia, beautiful area. Coming from Texas and moving to Ohio is a culture shift to say the least, but the country folk are the same no matter what state you're in. That's the key. You gotta live outside the cities. If you live outside the cities, you'll have a nice time. But you know, that's probably true for a lot of states. I don't think that's exclusive to Ohio. Ohio also has the most amount of native mound builder sites, followed by Georgia and Mississippi. I actually live near a mound builder site, a historical one, so that it was always kind of interesting to see the history of those Native American mound sites. I think they're kind of cool. I don't know very much about them, but I think they're kind of cool. I can't believe this pack has power armor. This pack has a little bit of everything. Quite literally a little bit of everything is in here. It's wild. And that is a-okay with me, because that means that we could do a little bit of everything. We don't have to just have one idea for a season. We could just play around with all sorts of fun stuff. So how has everybody's Tuesday been? Everyone been enjoying the week so far? Hopefully it's early enough that it hasn't been too stressful of a week for people. Oh, you said you were coming from Texas. I've been to Texas twice in my life. I had an uncle that lived in Houston area, and I thought it was just miserably hot there, but we were also there in the middle of August and the humidity was pretty brutal. And then a couple years back, I had a work conference where I was in Austin, Texas, and I thought Austin, Texas was a beautiful city. The food scene there was phenomenal. I tend to judge cities based on the local food because I like to eat a lot, and the barbecue in Austin, Texas, that might have been some of the best I've had. It was unbelievably good. Week has been tiring, but that's just college. Yeah, I remember those days. I do not miss it. There are times I truly think I worked harder and slept less in college than I do in my real job. Although that's not always the case. Sometimes I have busy weeks, sometimes you don't, but yeah, college can be very draining. Nice hearing day most of the day, so stressful, but went well, so that's good. Well, that's good that the hearings went well. Yeah, I think Central Texas is beautiful. Now, I've not been to South Texas, so I can't really speak about that area, but Central Texas, I thought that was a beautiful area. I would love to go back there. In fact, I believe I will be going back there in 2017 because a conference for group that I work with will be held in Austin, Texas in 2017. So I will be there at some point in that. I don't know the exact information of that yet, but I am actually looking forward to going back to Austin. Thoroughly enjoyed the city. If you like BBQ, go to San Antonio. It's even better. Good to know. I have never been to San Antonio. That is on my to-do list. I have been to Austin, Waco, Dallas, Fort Worth area, but I've not been to San Antonio. Did I say 2017? I meant to say 2027. Yeah, you know. Oh my God, I feel old now. The fact that 2027 is only a year and a half away. My God, that's wild, actually. It's hard to believe that it is 2025. My goodness. Is the music too loud or is it at a good volume? I can't really tell through the headset if it's going well or not. Trying to make sure I'm not being drowned out, but that there's actually something there. You said 2017 3 times too. Yeah, well, once you say it, it's on the front of your mind, so you just assume you were talking about the right thing, and clearly I was not. So, not bad. All right, that should be enough place to get going here. Millions of years old. Most of Texas used to be the seafloor. Between 1.5 million years ago, there are square mile quarries that mine natural conglomerate limestone made from ground up seashells. That fascinating. Hey Joshua, welcome to the stream. Another fun Terrafirma Tuesday. How is your day going? I come to you from work in a dodgy internet connection. Yeah, we are a little bit earlier today, a couple hours earlier, but I have, like I said at the beginning of the stream, I have to pick my wife up at the airport this evening, so I had to kind of move my schedule around accordingly to make sure that I could do that. All right, we've got small black bronze fluid there. Okay. Step one done of our multi-step trying things out and seeing what kind of trouble we can get into. Let's see. I need make sure tree felling is not enabled. I don't want to take down my entire building because that would be really unfortunate. Okay, let's see. Get our shovel out. So I want to change this wood wall into a tank valve. Here's a way to feel old. Toy Story came out 30 years ago this year. Here's a way to feel old. I remember when Toy Story came out. Now I'm old. You were the winged beast. That'd be interesting. What was I looking? Tank. Wooden tank valve, and I think I had one of those made up already. Yes. So let's see. I need my wrench here. Doing some inventory management, and we're gonna adjust this guy. Split, and then I believe I could go that. Like that guy. Excellent. Yes, I'm kind of doing a temporary, it's going to be in the middle of this field set up for some work until we kind of get some stuff tested out, and then after that we can build a building or adjust this equipment wherever it needs to go. But this is temporary for right now. I think I'm gonna need more fluid pipes actually, because I'm gonna need to get a water source to cool this stuff down, and then I'll have to make this steam boiler. We go back to the forge. We'll make all these into steel fluid pipes. I think we're gonna need them all anyways. Actually, why don't we be clever and color coordinate these a little bit? We'll make some regular bronze ones too. Yeah. All things are coming up wheelhouse. Joshua, I wasn't born yet and still feel old hearing that. Well, how do you think that makes me feel? Because I was born for that. I was actually around for when Toy Story came out. Yeah, I'm old. It's okay. Worse things have happened. We are getting these guys cooked up. These actually weld at a lower temperature. Good to know. Also, I was 1 year too late. I believe we actually went to the movie theaters to see that movie, if I recall. Because that's what you used to do back then when you're old like me. My bones hurt. You know what? There are days I will get out of bed and I will be like, "Ugh, I'm not 30 anymore." That feels bad. But I was born before Google. That's, you know, I believe. What year did Google come out? Because I assume I was too, but I don't know exactly what year it was made to be able to say for sure. Of course, you're gonna say something like it came out in 1997, and then I'll feel really old. Google came out in 98. Oh my god, that's even worse. Yep, I was around before Google. Ugh. You have the 30+ product tax. Got to get sponsored. Yeah. Pretty soon we're gonna get sponsored by BedGay. All right, at least the internet is older than me, because that would be unfortunate if I was older than the internet itself. Not by much, but it is older than me. I do remember when we had to get our internet from the AOL discs. So that was a fun time. This episode's sponsored by Depends. Do you feel old? We outlived Bing. That wasn't hard. How many of you remember AskJeeves.com? That was basically like the Google before Google. It was always go to Ask Jeeves. Bye forever. I assume, Ice, you were just leaving work. Oh no, I'm out of flux. Go get some more flux. I remember. Yeah, there was, you had to go to Ask Jeeves because Google wasn't an option, and then there was also Go-Gurts. Go-Gurts were cool. They tasted terrible though. Why did we ever think that that was a good beverage option? Because it was a terrible beverage option. But I do remember Go-Gurts. Didn't have access to internet until you were middle school. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, when we were growing up, we had one household computer. At least this what I had growing up. And if you were on the internet, you couldn't be on the phone because it used the same line. And to get access to the internet, you had to install AOL through a CD ROM that you got received in the mail. So you have to like ship in your internet. Your earliest memory was going to a theater in a mall with my mom to see the Rugrats movie in 1998. I remember that movie. I had that movie on VHS. I loved Rugrats growing up. There was Rugrats Go to Paris. I watched so much Rugrats. Rugrats. Hey Arnold. I loved Hey Arnold as a kid. That was the best show. Probably got your first PC when you were 12. Oh wow. That's a late adopter right there. So we always had a computer, but that's just because what my dad did for work. We needed a computer in the house so that he could do things from home. So we always had a computer, and then when it was at work, you had a computer to play your old MS-DOS games of the long ago. I remember you had to use command prompt to do anything. And was some of the games that we had? We had Pong. That Pong was much older than our computer was. That's been around for a while. I remember when we got Doom, like the first Doom game. That game was so cool for its time. And then was it Wolfenstein? That was like a Doom clone kind of thing, but with like World War II German theme. I remember something like that. We played a lot of Doom. And then we had Heroes 2 of Might and Magic. I don't know if anyone has ever heard of that game, but that as a kid may have been one of my most played games, because it was like me, my siblings, and some family friends, and it was like a turn-based strategy game, and we'd each take turns. When your turn is over, you get out of the chair and let the next person go and share the mouse and keyboard, and we would just sit in front of one computer and each move the keyboard back and forth and take our turns. So wild. That's how we used to play games. Hey Arnold got its finale movie a couple years back. Interesting. Used to have to play your landline phone and a specific receiver attached to your computer so it could connect to the internet. Yeah, that was just a little before the internet. We had the ones that was just connected to a phone jack, at least. But my grandpa had that connector system that you're describing there. Oh, fully on Hey Arnold. That's gonna bother me because I should know that, and I am drawing a complete blank right now. An absolute blank across the face. What was that bully's name? Hey Arnold. Harold Berman. That was what it was. Yeah. 23 hours and 15 minutes till you die. Don't hit me. I'll hit me. I'm crazy. Oh, I probably sound crazy right now, but like I watched Hey Arnold all the time as a kid. What was everyone else's favorite shows as a kid? It may date individuals, but if you had a favorite kids show growing up. You should always have the best outfit. Apparently the Hey Arnold Jungle movie was supposed to come out in the early 2000s, but corporate stupidly caused it not to happen until 16 years later. That's wild. I'm not surprised by that, but that's wild. Teen Titans and Ben 10. I remember watching some Teen Titans. That would have been a while ago. I think I was like in high school and I would still like watch it every once in a while. I don't think I've ever watched Ben 10. I'm not familiar with that one. Raven and Blackfire had devastating consequences on your dating life. I mean, who didn't? Impossible. Ben 10 is like $1 billion franchise. I think I was just, when Ben 10 came out, I think I was in college, so I didn't really watch a lot of TV, so I was kind of out of the loop for a while. But I believe it. feel like I've heard of it, but I've just never seen it. I do remember Kim Possible. Wild Thornberries, that was a classic one growing up. Seven different versions of each of 7 seasons. I probably. Wouldn't surprise me if that is a true statement. All right, we've got bronze fluid pipes. Excellent. Now, what do we? Chalk zone. I sort of remember Chalk Zone. I don't think I watched a lot of that by the time that I was... Oh. I kind of remember that one. Need let's go look at what we're actually working on here. And that is the steam boiler or liquid steam. Make this. I need glass, a black steel rod, some plates, and alloys. Ed, Ed, and Eddie. That was a classic one as a kid. Actually, at my first job I had, it was a factory job, and there was a locker room, and we were just like cleaning out some of the old lockers there one day. And I swear I was opening up this locker, and in it was this 2x4 plank with the face of Plank like sharpied on it, like just Plank just sitting in this locker. It just threw me for a loop that there was Plank. Let's see. I need steel plates. I thought I had some extra steel plates made up, but maybe I used them all. That hot, we're gonna need it. Oh, there's the steel plates. Thought I had those. What else do we need? Black steel rod. So I do have a couple black steel ingots made up already. Not many. But we can make a couple rods out of that. There's a plank that a soldier made that has a confirmed kill. I 100% believe that to be true. 100. That is probably like the least surprising thing I've heard today. Let's see. Ed, Ed, and Eddie was made on a date. The creator who did more adult-oriented animation with blood and sweating was dared to make a cartoon appropriate for kids. That's amazing. That is hilarious and amazing. Wow, these. Black rods. What else do I need? Wrought iron plates. Let's make a couple more of these as rods, because I just feel like we're going to need the rods at some point. And then these two we will just weld together for a double ingot into a plate. I'm convinced I'm going to need a plate at some point. I don't know what for, but something probably. Samurai Jack. Oh wow, that's a callback to an old show. Now I need raw iron plates, I believe. Do I have any pre-made? Cool. I really need to clean up my inventory disaster going on here on the server. It's really not fair to everyone else on the server how I've been doing this, just leaving stuff everywhere. Codename Kids Next Door. There's an old one. Bricks. Do I have clay? I actually think I need to go get some clay. I think I've used the last of my clay. Oh no. That's a little embarrassing. I did suggest you attack the chest monster. They're multiplying. That's probably gonna be like my next episode, is one big massive sorting day of just sorting everything, just so I could take it all out again and mess it all up again. This is a disaster. So let's do the only logical thing we can think of. Planks. And we'll make some more chests. Because what's a chest monster without making it even worse? We're going to put all of this in here for right now because I have to go get some clay, because I don't have any right now. Where is the nearest clay deposit? I have, perfect. Okay, Jimmer, there you are. Metal crates would help. Honestly, using our storage building would help. But I just kind of drop stuff while I'm working, like I just did, and then I'll come back to a project. It's mostly my fault for just being somewhat disorganized in that department. It's okay, we'll get there. Soon enough. Crates is a good stepping stone. I will look into the crates. I kind of got an idea for my next 2 episodes. One of them is basically all done recording. It just needs to finish up editing, but it's going to be the making of the black steel, just because that's a nice easy milestone for an episode. And then after that, I was thinking of having it be the making of all the steam machinery, but it could just be one big chest monster attack, and I'll look into making those crates and just cleaning up spawn. And then once that's done, the next one I want to do is actually start breaking ground on work at my base, because I've been living at spawn for over a month now, and I think it's time to actually branch out and go to my own base to start working with the builds I want to build for this season on the server, and then also use that to kind of really explore automation and a lot of the fun things that Greg Tech can do. So I think that's going to be the plan, but You never know what you get up to. Sometimes you sign on and you get roped into something completely outlandish and it turns into a beautiful episode on the side. The reason I'm taking a horse a ways away is I don't like digging holes right near where everybody lives. So when I go to get clay, I like to go look for spots farther away. So this will work here. Just for future proofing the area, because like that's where we live and I don't want to just make giant holes right where we live. Just trying to be polite to the others. That was not much of a clay deposit. You stay there, Shimmer. That's better. Ow. Much better. Don't really do that. I should ask, what is something people are really interested in seeing me do with the Terrafirmagreg mod pack? Is there anything in particular that you want me to look into trying? I know Olive wants the Zeta 1 space mission, but is there anything else? Where did Shimmer go? Shimmer? How did I lose my horse already? Oh. Filler Review got another update. Noted. I'll have to look into updating that. Shimmer? Apparently it's over here. Emulate the Boring Company and make an underground superhighway? That's not a bad idea. That could be kind of interesting, actually. Be something different. Have one long tunnel for a train that goes across the ocean. That could be interesting. Pass up Guru's house. I looked up at the stars and went right into the water. Let me get on the top of the hill, Olive, and then I can look. That beautiful night sky. Deployers, mining drills, and cart assemblers. Deployers place supports to keep them from falling. Drills make it move. Cart assemblers get the form. Not a bad idea. I think it'd be kind of cool to have like a tunnel just going all the way across the ocean south to where the rainforest guys live. See what they're up to. Be a underground sugar trade route, basically, because they're the ones that are growing our sugar for us, because we can't really grow it here up north. Stellar View is your eye candy. Hey, we all have our things we like. It is a beautiful mod. Get a rough position on your geolocation by the stars. Interesting. Very interesting. Put you back there. That. Oh, screw that up already. Time to make some bricks. I think I've spent more time standing right here than anywhere else on the server with all the forging that I've been doing, which is fine. It's kind of funny. Brick time. So I have a cam account for the server, and it's called Bricky CFT. As you know, I'm super original with my naming. Rip. Screwed that one up. Okay. Get all this stuff back. Go back to things I don't need right away. All this cooking. We're going to turn these into bricks. My stepdad says he makes bricks with no straw. He means pew-pewing. Keeping track of the time because I do have a hard stop to go pick up the wife. So we have an hour and 5 minutes left, and then unfortunately I will have a hard stop at the 2-hour mark today. Wish it wasn't true, but it's what we gotta do. See if we can at least make one machine or get this set up before that's done. So we've got about an hour left, so that's good. Or that'll work. 5 minutes left of work. That's exciting. Glad we can help get you through the workday as we sit here making bricks. Hard work, but someone's got to do it. Okay. What am I missing? Oh, yeah. Order would be useful. Bet you that makes a difference. Make one of those. Steel plates, crucible. There was a crucible I had around here. I know, famous last words. I had something in a chest around here somewhere. Do I have plenty of tin alloy? I have tin alloy. Is it plenty? We'll see, but I should have enough for what we need to do here at least. Where did I put that crucible? No, I didn't put it far because I knew I would need it. Liquid boilers with screws out so you don't have to make solid boilers. Yeah, I was just going to make the liquid one. I did look into that enough to know that that's true. But I need to get a water source for the liquid one because if you add heat to it before you have lava or the water in there, it will explode. Yeah. I was hoping to use a crucible I already had, but I can't find where I put it. Because it's in my backpack. I've literally had it on me the whole time. the whole time. That's embarrassing. So we've got that. I don't even need a crucible. I need the glass for the liquid one. Well, I feel silly right now. Let's make some tin fluid pipes. This ought to go quickly because the tin has a low melting point. That right now. Oh, what do I get for not paying attention? Okay. You only have to make 2 of these at this point in time, I believe. Nope, not hot enough. I hate working with tin. It melts so fast. And it melted again, of course. I hate working with tin. I want that rolling machine so I don't have to worry about doing this anymore. It's stupid. Okay. Go home now. Congratulations, Cody. I'm glad you're able to go home. Glad that your workday is over. Right there. Glass. Right. All right. Next item we need silica batch. Because our inventory issues weren't bad enough already. Let's do glass blowing. Why not? Don't really need a large vessel over here right now. Let me make sure there's nothing in the bottom of the basin. Good. Eat my sandwiches because we like our Sammies. Should be like that. All right, first steam, that's what we're working on. Glass blowing, so dang tedious. That is the statement of the century right there. Yep, we're gonna try and make our first steam machines here. That'll work. What am I missing? Steel plates, got those. Black steel rod. Molten. Did I do something wrong? That would not work? I feel like this should be right. Tin versus tin alloy. Oh. That makes way more sense. I feel silly. So let's take some of this. Thank you for the call out there. Yeah, I feel absolutely silly screwing that up. What do we not need here? That'll work. We'll put the cast iron in first, and then the tin alloy is 50. So it could be 50-50. We'll do 9 of those and 9 tin, and we'll get our alloy. Okay, that'll work. Well, I feel silly. I'm glad that you pointed that out, because I would have sat there and been like, what did I do wrong? Like, that was absolutely silly. Hey Iced, welcome to the stream. How are you doing on this beautiful Terrafirma Tuesday? We are running early today. I have picked the wife up at the airport this evening. I've been having trouble finding silver on the members only server. I will look into that and see if I can find you some. It wouldn't be too hard to find silver. Send me a note on Discord and I'll see if I can help find some silver. All right, and it should be pink. This is, look at that. Beautiful. Okay. Turn that off. We'll go back to our welding station. Well, that cooks much slower. It's rough, I promise. Yeah, finding things is always an interesting part of the game, but it's all right. We'll see what we can do. Work. Weld these guys together. Put 2 tin alloy ingots in there and then put this guy to turn into a plate. I can make a tin alloy straw. What is... Interesting. I have no idea what that is. Surprised I never see your health hammer much. It's a huge time saver. I have been using it a lot actually. It's just not been on camera. But that health hammer is how I made most of my steel ingots. Blaze burners and create steam engines. Okay. Let's see. Steam boiler. Oh, it should be able to do. Come on. There we go. Yeah. We've got the high pressure steam liquid boiler. And I think I just saw Maya sign online. Are them on liquid fuels instead of solid fuels? Nice. Yeah, if you look in my steel building, I've got this health hammer back here, and actually I can take off of it, but I've literally been just slowly, as long as I'm online, turning these pig iron ingots into steel ingots, and all of these were made using that health hammer. It's just been going in the background, so it's been a huge time savers in that regard. Groups, create, name, Terrafirma Tuesday, invite Maya. See if he wants to join or not. But yeah, that has been a huge saver, having the health hammer for that regards. Okay, I have that. The next thing I want is a pump of some sort, a mechanical pump. Don't know if I have another one. We'll just make another pump. Wax flip pipe. Oh, steel screw. Aw. Wanna bring your bucket of water here? Yeah, I can get Maya to place some water for me since I don't actually have a bucket. Let's make a couple of those. I have some copper plates in here. That'll help. Where's my wax? Hope I didn't use all my wax. I think I used all my wax, so we'll just go get some more. Because we learned from the beautiful comment section not to harvest all of our beeswax every time we go to our beehives. The joys of reading the comment section, very important. Work. Hi, Maya. I need an infinite water source over here, Maya. Used to create chest monster or storage to kill that chest monster. Absolutely. Can you make an infinite water source like right in this corner here? And then we use any dirt to like march it off. Thank you. That'll save me a lot of time in that regards. While he does that, I will continue working on the pump. So, steel screws. Do I have the screws? I'm a little screwy, but I don't know if I have the screws. What's it take to make the screw? Rods. I need a chisel. Where is my chisel? There's one. There's some steel rods. Perfect. What am I doing wrong here? Put this guy for that. Oh, inventory. Fine. Make sure he has it right for us. Perfect. Thank you. I'm back here to take pictures of your mom's new countertops for her. That's exciting. What type of countertops did she end up getting? Always an exciting time getting new stuff. Those. Steel cogwheel, wax, pipe. The cogwheel's what I've missed. There we go. Excellent. All right. Now to get our pump going. This will have our water for our steam. That will work there. Mine literally just came in for a screenshot. That's cool. So I believe with that, I can then put my high pressure guy here. Get my wrench out. Connect that. Now we need a power source for this guy. Million things going on all at once. Marble or granite, some sort of white stone and porcelain. That's cool. Well, congratulations on the new countertops. Always exciting. There's the windmill bearing. There's the beeswax I was looking for. And the steel screws I was looking for. That all tracks. For right now, we're going to actually, because I don't feel like making a bunch of new windmill pieces right now. I will borrow from this one, and we'll just have to make some more windmill wind sails. So sorry, but you're not 100% needed at the moment anyways, so this will work. What I'm doing is more important. It was short-lived. Got all those. I'll make sure to let her know. Do that, yeah. Absolutely. I'll finish your homework early tonight. Congratulations. That's always exciting. Believe. Ooh. This is gonna be a little ugly at the moment. It's temporary. I promise. This is us just kind of doing some proof of concept stuff. It's not going to be perfect. Making, you know, one more eyesore at spawn because I can. Well, that's what it's gonna be. Let's see. Steel shaft. Boom, boom. I'm gonna put a cogwheel right here. obviously we're going to clean all this technology up. This is all temporary right now. Well, that was not what I was looking to do. So then I can do that, turn that guy on. That's painfully slow, but I think that's fast enough for what I need. Actually, let me go get a large cogwheel so I can speed it up a little bit just to make sure we don't run out of water. We don't want to have an explosion on our hands. Do I have a large cogwheel made? Of course not. Don't work on houses, work on cars. Houses take a level of design I lack. So my grandfather was an auto mechanic on my dad's side, and then my grandfather on my mom's side was actually a carpenter. So I actually have a unique skill set of being able to do both, but I didn't pursue a career in either. So I'm good enough to be dangerous, but not good enough to make a career out of it. But like home repair kind of things, I could do all sorts of funky little things like that around the house if I need to. What are the odds I'm doing this right the first time? No. Yeah, much better. 12 SU is more than 3, and that's what we're here for. All right. So we've got water in. We're gonna have steam coming in from our fuel source, but I'm gonna wait to add that. And then we need to send the steam out. So that's one more. This is going to be an output. Take that direction. Make sure I get my directions right. Put some one-way valves on those. Okay. And now that we have that, it's time to make our actual equipment. So things we need to make. We definitely need a forge hammer. And I need a compressor to make these electron tubes. So those are the two that I definitely want to start with. And then we can add more from there. So let's go ahead and make the steam forge hammer first. Steam forge hammer. Black steel ingot. More of those alloy tubes and a piston. I need to make a bunch of those casings, don't I? Sounds about right. You're a jack of all trades. Good. I know how to build houses, not interior design. My interior design stops at a minimum or minimalism. Yeah. Design wise, of having like the artistic eye, that's where I lean heavily on the wife, but I can at least do the work once someone picks what needs to go where it needs to go, if that makes sense. I am far from a design expert. I'm gonna need some more wrought iron plates, I'm betting. Firing it back up. This whole stream has basically just been me standing over by the fire, doing small little tasks, and then turning the fire back on and doing it again. That's probably how a lot of these streams end up being. I'm literally about to cry. I found silver, but I didn't bring any saw with wood with me and didn't bring enough support beams. You're like 10,000 blocks out. Oh no. That's a disaster. What you could do, it's more time consuming. You could do strip mine straight down so you don't have anything that can cave in on you. But you're probably deep in the earth, so probably not the best. The furnace is also good. It can turn ore dust directly into ingots. That's a fair point. Make the alloy smelter set. The only reason I wanted the compressor was to make the actual electron tubes here. I wanted to make a deployer to automate something in the steel thing. So it's for one purpose, as to do that, but I don't think it'll be my most used tool. I'm going to make all of these at some point. I'm just kind of, which ones am I making first and which ones do I have an immediate need for? But yeah, these will all get made, I assure you. We're gonna make a steam furnace and prove it to a steam oven. It's a multi-block that does 8 to 16 processes at a time. Same goes with steam grinder. And a steam bloomer. I did see about the steam bloomer. That's on my to-do list as well. Yeah. I'm gonna need them all anyway, so I'm just gonna kind of make a couple to get started with, and then most of these will probably be made after the stream in an upcoming episode, to be perfectly honest. But we're just trying to try some stuff out here for the first time. See what kind of trouble we can get into. Those going. Well, that's embarrassing. I am dangerously low on wrought iron right now. Don't think I have any in here. There's some, but I am quite low on the wrought iron at the moment. So let's go ahead and fire up the bloomery for right now. Might be the last time we use this bloomery before we have the steam one. Oh, it has to be charcoal, doesn't it? That's embarrassing. Okay. Hold that guy together. Maybe I should focus on automation step by step. Auto iron would be a big help. Yeah, I'm just trying to try some of this stuff out, and then I'm going to actually set up a system of some sort. The idea being you put in the result, the ores, and you get the already made ingots on the other side. Image really stuff starts to ramp up. Yeah, I kind of got that feeling. It's like all of the stuff by hand is soon going to be a thing of the past, and I am okay with that. The steam one can only do non-fluid recipes. Interesting. The steam extractor is very much optional. I mean, I'll probably just make it just to make it, just so I can fill out the quest book. Like, I have said I want to do everything, so part of doing everything is doing everything, even if it doesn't have a long-term use. I'm okay with that. Like, it was fine with me if I'm doing something and it's not the most efficient way, as long as I get the credit for it. Did I not grab the other one? No. Team tier wall symbol. What? What are these? How do you make... I'm confused on what that is. Sorry, I got very distracted by that thing. No idea what that's about. Gonna make that deployer so that I can make a rolling machine so I can just make plates out of ingots. And my life will be infinitely better. Start them from the fire diamond one. Oh. Okay. That's kind of cool. I'm probably going to use those eventually. Because that's kind of cool. Facings. Do that a couple more times. You also make sticks of chalk. Interesting. Wood pipes are a thing. They can handle room temp fluids like water and creosote. Useful information. I knew I had the wood pipes over here at one point, and I just thought that the bronze ones looked better, but I've never been one to save on resources. I'm okay with the grind to get more, especially when it makes things look cool. Imagine if our pipes start rusting. That'd be wild. Transfer rate, fluid pipe, perfect. Yeah, and it's like, it's not that much resources to make the pipes in the grand scheme of things. Like from the ore perspective, once we start automating them into ingots a little bit faster, it's not that much more work, I don't think. And maybe it's just because I enjoy forging, but I would be happy to see the automation of the making of plates and things, just because it is becoming a little tedious. But it's, from a resource perspective, we have a lot of the actual raw materials. It's just a matter of turning them into the parts that we want. That's the only thing, is the time frame. Oh, eat up faster. Don't need the blowpipe anymore. I put that in this. We're going to need the wrench here soon. That should be enough to make one more. That guy made. All right, what did I say I want first? The forge hammer, black steel ingot, 2 small tin alloy fluid pipes, raw iron plates, steel plates. All right, we definitely need more raw iron plates. Let's go in. Does someone else on the team handle mining? I don't think I've seen you do much besides at the start. We all kind of collaboratively work on the mining. A lot of the mining I do, I'm not doing on stream, or I'm not doing in a video. It's like when I've got some downtime for an hour or two, I'll do a bunch of off-screen mining. So I'll show a little bit of mining, but we all collaboratively do a lot of the mining work. So it's not the end of the world. And if we come up to our little storage area here for the raw materials, you can see I've been gathering a good bit of materials from mining. So we do have some raw materials that just needs to be processed into things. Need to get more silver, and probably need to get some more tin and zinc, but for the most part we all collaboratively will go do a little mining session here and there to kind of help out. So it's been very nice having the working of the community together. Yeah, like I said, material wise, I'm not too worried about it. It's more of the time to turn stuff into things, because we are not afraid to go get materials. And part of that is because I've played Terrafirmagreg enough times in the past. I kind of warned everyone, something we're going to want to do early and often is when you've got some downtime, just go mine some raw materials, because we always will need more materials. That's just, I feel like this is a mod pack that you always need materials. And so even from day one, we've all collectively been like, well, I'm here gathering something, let me gather the materials while I'm here as well, so we don't waste trips either. So that helps out as well. I'd say it'll take until past 11 for the space age. Perhaps. Piston. Brass gear, raw iron rod, lumber, and rocks. Does that have to be raw iron? It does. Do I have raw iron rods? I don't think so. So let's turn this guy into the rods. Got the rods. Eventually you can read up on ore processing to get more resources per ore you mine. That's a quest chapter for it. Yeah, I was actually doing that, reading into that a little bit. It's all stuff that I think will be very interesting to get to at some points. What do I need? Lumber. And then I need some cobblestone of something. If I have any, Gabbro will work. Piston, excellent. Tin alloy pipes, yes. Where did I put that tin alloy? Up here. All right. Some more of the tin alloy time. Not to be mistaken with the Tim Allen time. 2 minutes left on that guy. Don't need those anymore. Just working through my inventory here for a minute. Not perfect, but it'll work. Don't need the charcoal on me for the minute. And we can weld these guys together. Weld. Then we'll put 4 more in and work these guys into. Cool. There's 2 more. The fastest way is using create crushing wheels, but you don't get ore multiplication until MV. I will take that under consideration. We'll try and do a little bit of everything. There's just so much that can be done in this mod pack. It's fantastic. Like, so much stuff. Use bulk washing as early as Iron Age to get some extras. I've been doing all my washing by hand, and I know that's not the efficient way to do it, but it worked. So it's kind of like, that'll work for now. Where I would just throw things in the lake Can't argue with results because it worked. There's no really way of extracting more materials and trace minerals until ore washers and centrifuges. Yeah, we'll get to that. It's gonna be a minute. Of that, I am sure. Yeah, first is bulk washing in iron, then in steam you get a mech centrifuge. Interesting. Yeah, I need to start looking into like some of the create washing and stuff too. There's all sorts of fun things we could do here. All very interesting stuff. Oh. Ran out of temperature. Bulk washing by what mean? The ore proc chapter lays it all out. Oh, well, thank you for taking the time to write that all out, Pyrite. Pyrite? I keep wanting to say Pyrite, and I don't think that's the right way to say your name. So I apologize if I have completely butchered your name there. Great, your nemesis. Great, even better. Who needs create when you can have create? Pyrite. Okay, I will try to remember that. Let's see here. We've got our high pressure steam forge hammer. And we'll put this guy in. Now that we have that, we can hook up our influent here. You're the lead TFG developer. Well, welcome to the stream. I hope that I am doing your mod pack justice. I'm just having a little bit of fun with it. Got that heating up. Forge hammer, and I think if I take a pile of pig iron ingots, hopefully I'm doing this right. Probably needs more than 0 steam made. I've seen the comments. It's hopefully they're doing it justice. I've been having a lot of fun with this mod pack. It's very cool. There's just so much to do. All right, let's see. As I fumble my way through the things and probably do things the wrong way sometimes. Oh. I have a very different way of playing most people, getting super into things. And, you know, I think it's a fun way to play it. Like, why try a mod pack and then only do like one thing real quick? And I'm not as... Oh, thank you so much for subscribing to the channel, Albrex. Appreciate that. Yeah, I find it like when you play in a mod pack, some people, they just want to like mass produce and like, I want to find the most efficient way to do something and make as much of something as possible. And for me, I find it fun to just like have themes for different things. So if I'm going to be building, for example, we've got the forge. This was just to make the forge items, and then I had a steel house, and now I'm sure I'll make a building here or the actual steam building of some sort, and that will like try to have like themes to really try to enjoy all that the mod pack has to offer. And also I know these mod packs, people that develop them, there's a lot of time that goes into the development, so it feels like you're not doing it justice if you don't spend the time actually doing the things people put in the mod pack. Like if you're skipping over large parts of it, you miss things, and that's not as fun to me. When I redesigned Steam Agent 0.9, Great made it much easier to tier everything. Make sure I'm not running out of water. Temp looks good. So it looks like we've got this guy going, and I know I can add hoppers and stuff, or chutes I believe they're called, to fill this guy in. So I'm obviously this will be all cleaned up and put into a prettier building. This is like a bit of a proof of concept moment right now, but we are making steel. Creates a headache to balance because it's intentionally so freeform. Oh, I bet. I do not envy you in the balancing part of that. That is not an easy thing to do. What was the other thing I wanted to make? You guys said a furnace would make sense to make. Black steel rods, plate, steel plate. Let's try that. I might have enough to make that on me. Oh my goodness, I've already got it made. Look at us being efficient and ahead of the curve. Knowing what we wanted to do. And then put this guy like that. Oh. Was I on something too hot? Was that what just hurt me? Would not surprise me if that's the case. Or vent out there. Yeah, okay, those steam pipes are too hot. Good to know. Steam pipe are like, yeah. That's what I was looking for, was the one-way valves. Nice. I dug up a big hole and ended up finding something else I didn't want. What'd you find, Iced? Hopefully nothing too bad. We've got that. Next I wanted the compressor. More pistons. Means I need more iron rods. Believe I'm completely out of these. Oh, I'm very curious what you found, Iced. Hopefully it's not too bad. Hidden portal to the beneath or something. We are currently, I did know that you could upgrade the backpack. I did look that up. But the farthest we've progressed right now is to black steel. I have not made it to the blue and red steel yet. In fact, I have black steel as recently as like a day ago, so it's still very new for us to have the black steel at this point. That being said, once we got this blast furnace set up to make the black steel, the jump from black steel to blue steel and red steel is not hard. It's just time consuming, something I haven't had time to get around to yet. So I will be upgrading my backpack as soon as I can, though. I do assure you that. I'm also looking forward to making a bucket, so I don't have to just message Maya and be like, hey, can you come place some water for me because you went to a wandering trader and bought a bucket instead of making it the proper way. And Maya was complaining he needed a bucket, so he did the cheap way of going to a wandering trader and trading for a bucket. I'm like, that feels disingenuous, but it has also allowed him to do some pretty cool things with his base, so I can't blame him. Worth waiting on the colored seal because Steam Age has ways to make it cheaper. That's kind of what I figured. Forge hammer to weld ingots, then mechanical mixer. Yeah. I knew I needed to get to the black steel because I needed it to be able to make some of the machines, but the red and blue steel I wasn't as pressed to rush now that I can play around with some new equipment here, but we'll be doing it, I'm sure, sooner than later. Get into all the fun stuff we can do with these pieces of equipment. Where's the roller? I want that rolling mill. There's the press gear. You found oil sands. What is oil sands used for? Is that a bad thing? Genuinely don't know. I've not played around with it. Uh-oh, ran out of water in that one. The rolling mill makes you feel like a god. That's funny. I also believe that. Get some more water there. Your hammer's about to break. Yeah, that's a good time to call it on the mining then. There. More water in these barrels. So we'll do the obvious thing of a refilling barrel. Get these guys going. More. Okay. I need 2 pistons. I need more. Oh, cobblestone, of course. I'm missing the easiest thing to get. Yeah, our sorting is not great right now. Definitely needs improved. High pressure steam compressor. Oh yeah. Put that guy down. Here. There. Put this guy on the side. Back in. Exciting times here where things are all looking up. Where was it? chipboard composite. I think that's what I wanted to compress, if I'm not mistaken. Are we gonna do it? Oh yeah. We've got the tools we need to make an electron tube. That is exciting. But I think this has been a very successful day here of making some very cool steam equipment. I'm very happy with how this has transpired. Unfortunately, I do have to call it a stream here at about the 2-hour mark. Gotta go do some things IRL and pick my wife up from the airport, so I can't stream extra today. So I thank everyone for being here for an earlier stream. We'll be back to our normally scheduled stream next week, which traditionally would be starting right about now. And unfortunately, we're ending right about now, but you know, real life happens and that's just what you gotta do. But I want to thank everyone for being here for another Terrafirma Tuesday, and hopefully you guys have enjoyed our time here as well, going through all this fun steam making equipment. And I've definitely enjoyed hanging out, learning about how I'm old, but you know, a little bit of reminiscing of the past has been fun, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the time too. And we will definitely see you next time for the next Terrafirma Tuesday. Have a good one.